Hello, hello. I'm Katejorinna or Kate, and I'm the happy artist behind Katejorinna. Today's topic has a series of 3 parts about a very, very, very important topic on life. I want to ask you a question. How about shifting your perspective to mindfully realize the things and locations around you are having disabilities instead of attaching it to humans? The quote of the German organization Aktion Mensch, if translated to English, it means as much as Action Humankind, points it out because it goes like this. Humans have no disability, locations do. I don't know any location without any disability. While you're listening to the next few podcast episodes on this topic, you could ask yourself if you know a location without a disability. Following points will be mentioned: places of residence, stores, working places, education facilities, the infrastructure, homes, leisure activities, and language. First, let's take a closer look at the first point: places of residence, including, of course, a village and small towns and such. Now, the question arises as to why a place of residence has disabilities. Think of the sidewalks that you know. At some point, the sidewalk just ends and nature or a street or roadworks are ahead and so forth. It's no hindrance for people who can see with their eyes, since you can plan alternatives ahead and decisions are made within seconds, such as continuing walking through the grass or crossing the road according to traffic regulations and so on. It's obvious that you are able to decide freely. In case of a construction area, you can't walk on your frequently used pathway. The good thing about this is that you can see ahead and can read signs telling you where to go instead. Even if a sidewalk ends because of a road, you can assure that it's safe enough to cross. But what about our fellow human beings whose health or body don't meet the ones of the majority? To just do it like you do probably is either impossible or complicated. What if you can't see through your eyes? You're outside walking on your own and can't see the signs of the construction area. What if the barriers lead you to complete confusion, since it takes you out of concept? On top of it, these locations can be super dangerous. Now, can you imagine how such construction areas are like a total attack into your own freedom? Construction areas are having a wide range of disabilities and not a person. Not only fellow human beings who can't see through their eyes are affected, but also those in a wheelchair or who are walking with a walker, carrying a baby in a stroller, and so on. Please imagine a sidewalk. Can you see another disability? The next one is a curb, and this is definitely another hurdle. I mean, how in the world is somebody in a wheelchair supposed to step over a curb? It's the same with the ones having a walker. Even if the curb isn't so high, it's still a huge problem. Let's go further and consider following nonsense. If a curb is on the same level as the street is, it doesn't mean that the curb on the other side is having it also. Have you ever realized that? This makes no sense, but it really, really exists. Talking about the disabilities of a sidewalk so far, we are reaching another important aspect, which the majority of people either ignore or aren't aware of. And this is the floor covering. Do you know any even floor covering outside? No? Me neither. Who's good on foot has zero problems with it and doesn't even feel it. Although it doesn't exclude any risk of injuries. Within seconds, it can happen that you twist your ankle and probably have a torn ligament caused by the holes on the streets or sidewalks and such. Okay, so let's list the disabilities of a floor covering. We already know 3 of them. Number 1, unevenness. 2, holes. Number 3, curbs. And then there are number 4, paving stones. 5, the little stones laying around the floor. Number 6, those corrections being made. And number 7, higher and lower levels of the ground. Does something else cross your mind? In case it does, and also if you see something I haven't considered yet, please feel free to get in touch with me so we can talk about it. You can find my contact details in the show notes, or just go on Instagram and search for Katejorinna. So this list includes symptoms of a flooring, which are significant guidelines on the degree of a disability. Not too long ago, I was in a restaurant watching people. I really like to do this. Who doesn't, right? It's not to talk bad about them, but just to observe and dive into imagination. In that day, an elderly couple, sorry, my tongue is faster than my mouth could speak. So an elderly couple around 65 caught my attention. The lady had a walker and was struggling walking on paving stones, but there was no alternative. Those paving stones were literally everywhere. Witnessing this made me realize how unfair it is. What do you think about it? I'm interested about your opinion, so please write a personal message to me again. And, even personally, I know that paving stones are horrible. I hate walking on them since my accident, and it's just so complicated. And, it just makes no sense for people who are having struggles. But yes, this floor exists too. And additionally, there's more to mention about traffic lights, because these are obviously not very practical, programmed for pedestrians, since the time for crossing the road isn't long enough. Back in the day, as I had 2 healthy feet, I crossed a bunch of traffic lights, which switched too fast to red, although I wasn't walking slow. And many more people are in such situations day by day. Besides, some car drivers are impatient if you're not crossing the road fast enough. Certainly, you've experienced it yourself. So, how about our fellow human beings who can't walk so fast? What can you change? So, this is the final question for today. I want you to think about it, what you could change or what you could do about the stuff that you heard today. And I invite you, to share today's episode with your family and with your friends or whoever else you feel for sharing it. And I also, think it's awesome if you talk about this topic with others, and if you're experiencing your surroundings with open eyes. Be aware of the stuff around you and take care of your fellow human beings around you, because we are actually one big family. So taking care for each other is so, so, so important. And humanity isn't allowed to die. So feel free to do it. And once again, you can just read the show notes, and you can text me a personal message on Instagram if you're there on @Katejorinna, or you can write me an email at katejorinna@yahoo.com. And you can check my Linktree link where you can see where I'm at, because as you know, I'm an artist and I'm selling my art, and I want to embody this topic in my art too. So stay tuned for great stuff. And for now, I want to thank you for listening so far, and thank you for sharing, and thank you for making a better world. Until very soon, to dive into part number 2 about this topic. Cheerio!